friends, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for joining. Do you ever feel like your romantic relationships get stuck in patterns and cycles that often feel confusing? Maybe they even feel a little bit mysterious at times. In this video, we're going to take a look at these patterns and these cycles and maybe gain a little bit more understanding, decode them a little bit, maybe dissolve that mystery, and gain some understanding through the attachment lens. My name is Raquel Perez, and I am a licensed professional counselor candidate in the state of Colorado. Thanks again for joining. Let's go ahead and get started. So in last week's video, we talked a lot about attachment styles and what those different attachment styles are. If you're interested in that, I've got ahead and placed that video right here. So go ahead and check that out. For today's video, we're going to lay down a little bit of context of a couple of these attachment styles and how sometimes they can play a role in getting our romantic relationships kind of stuck into these cycles and these patterns. Today we're going to look at what is often called as either the anxious avoidant trap. Some have referred to it as a pursue withdraw pattern or cycle. And so to understand this a little bit better, let's think a brief little bit about anxious attachment styles and avoidant attachment styles and what those two mean. So an anxious attachment style is one where a person seeks closeness, and any hint or sign that there is distance in the relationship is received to them as a threat, and they will seek more proximity, they will seek more closeness to their partner in the signs of these threats of distance. Many times they employ behaviors that are called protest behaviors. Protest behaviors are anything that jolt our partner into bringing them closer to us, into noticing us. Protest behaviors can be anything like excessive calling or texting or emailing, maybe sometimes even ignoring. Again, any behavior that is going to shock my partner into paying attention to me. And the whole idea behind that is to gain proximity, to gain closeness to my partner. It's important to also know that these behaviors that we engage in, they are automatic. They are not intentional. They just happen because of the way that our attachment system has been developed. Now, when we look at a person with an avoidant attachment system, or an avoidant attachment style, they do want to have closeness. It's not that they don't want to have closeness. It's just that once they achieve a certain level of closeness or proximity, their body registers that as a threat. And so in order to reduce that threat, or in order to adapt with that threat, oftentimes what a person with an avoidant attachment style will do is engage in deactivating strategies. So these are strategies that are going to deactivate their attachment system. Many times deactivating strategies can be using anything that will gain physical or emotional distance from our partner. So again, avoidant, they are going to try and create physical and emotional distance from their partner because their system is receiving the closeness and the proximity as a threat. And for anxious, they're going to want to pull in their partner. So we can already start to see how when these two attachment styles get together, oftentimes we can see this cycle and this pattern begin to happen. Now, in order to really understand this pattern and this cycle, we're going to head over to my desk so that I can draw out this pattern and this cycle, and we can make a little bit more sense of it and we can understand it a little bit better. So go ahead and follow me over to my desk. Excellent. Thank you for making it over to the desk. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this avoidant and anxious trap, or the pursue withdraw cycle. Here we have someone with an anxious attachment style. And here we have a partner with an avoidant attachment style. Now, when these two styles meet and begin a relationship, oftentimes what we see happen when there are signs of threats, they respond in quite different ways. For the person with an anxious attachment style, at the sign of a threat, they activate their attachment system. And as the threat continues, they continue to activate. And oftentimes, the way that a person with an anxious attachment style activates their attachment system is through protest behavior. Now remember, protest behavior is any behavior that connects an anxious attachment, that connects them to their partner again. Because again, remember, they are seeking connection, which is why they use their protest behavior. Now, for an avoidant, with a person who has an avoidant attachment style, at the sign of threat, they often will deactivate their attachment system. If the threat continues, they continue to deactivate. And for a person with an avoidant attachment system, they will often engage in deactivating strategies. Deactivating strategies is any kind of behavior that is going to pull them away from their partner. And once an anxious attachment system feels this pull, they continue to activate their system through their protest behaviors to regain that connection. This is a threat for the avoidant attachment system, and they continue to pull further away. And we can see how this cycle will just kind of continue and continue and continue, because the way that they respond to the threat triggers. It continues to create that threat and trigger their partner. So now that we saw the pattern, we've identified the avoidant and the anxious attachment styles, we see how those play a role in our romantic relationships, you might be thinking, okay, great, I have a better understanding of what this means. It may have even prompted you to be a little bit more curious about your own attachment style and how that attachment style might be playing a role in your romantic relationship. And if you are having that curiosity and those questions are coming up, please check out my PDF that is free to download. I've placed it right here for your convenience. And it just has some prompting questions to encourage you to think about your relationships, your romantic relationships, and maybe how your behaviors have displayed in those relationships, and maybe gain more understanding into your own attachment style and how that is affecting maybe your own romantic relationships. Well, friends, thank you for joining. I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to watch this video. If you found this helpful and useful, please hit that like button down below. Please subscribe to the channel. New content is posted every Friday, and I hope to see you next week. Thanks again, and bye for now.